We have watched for too long how Set and his conspirators have confused the minds of humanity. We watched as his commands have left billions of people dead in the millennia or so wars, as 98% of them is just the very same that has been retold to you for centuries.
What if everything you have been taught is a lie? That the history you think is nothing more than the victor's story? In a way, his story. For millennia people have been guided, but what if this is on the wrong path?
2.8 million years ago, the genus of Homo, the first humans, emerged. We like to think of ourselves as the only humans, but this is far from the truth. When we, Homo sapiens sapiens, came into existence 200,000 years ago, there were at least 6 other human species around. Cousins of comparable intelligence and ability, which must have been incredibly scary, kind of like living with aliens. Some of them were very successful. Homo erectus, for example, survived for 2 million years, 10 times longer than modern humans have existed. The last of the other humans disappeared around 10,000 years ago. We don't know what caused them to die out. Modern humans have at least a few % of Neanderthal and other human DNA, so there was some mixing, but certainly not enough to be a merger between species. So we don't know if our cousins went away because they lost the battle over resources or because of a series of minor genocides. Either way, only we remain. Back to the beginnings of humanity. 2.8 million years ago, early humans used tools but did not make a lot of progress for nearly 2 million years. Until they learned to control fire. Fire meant cooking, which made food more nutritious, which contributed to the development of our brain. It also produced light and warmth, which made days longer and winters less gruesome.
The many ancient stories and myths are now starting to make sense because we have come to an age of better understanding and technology. Now the stories called myth are being seen as truth, told in a way that only certain people would come to see the hidden message within them. If you were being deceived, how would you know? How would you be able to tell the truth when the lie is so imprinted on people's minds and beliefs? Only the few that, through time, have passed down these secrets, whether in secret society or families across the world. But they had to survive the many ways that this truth was removed, covered up and changed. It would be the artists who would hide these messages within their art. From Da Vinci and the Age of Enlightenment to the new scientists that would be the truth tellers.
And error-free. Listen to a bit of what he said.
The accuracy of the Bible is very important, because if you don't have an accurate scripture, then you don't have a holy scripture. You don't have a scripture that is worth reading, quite honestly. If there have been changes made to the Bible, then we have no reason to believe it. We have no reason to trust it. If there are errors in the Bible with the text, we have no reason to trust the Bible. I can say after studying the Bible that I'm convinced that the Bible is absolutely accurate.
To the prophet Isaiah a clue as to where we might find the very first and most amazing prophecy ever revealed in the Bible. Listen to Isaiah 46:9 and 10 and see if you can discover the clue that unlocks the mystery location of the Bereshit prophecy. Remember the former things of old, for I am God and there is none else. I am God and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Are we to understand these words of God literally? Were there events ordained in heaven that both have and will unfold on the earth that were declared by God in the beginning?
From every medium of art, whether paintings, sculpture and to the new medium of the day. The 20th century saw the arrival of the moving pictures, and in 1977 a young George Lucas would retell the story through a space opera set a long time ago, the creator told the story in his vision. This would tell the true story of the Egyptian version of a time before time. A golden era, that saw a world of peace, justice, and the greed and poverty of today seems like a world galaxies away. It is through this saga the motifs, a repeating cycle of history, would tell the story of their fall of the ancient guardians known as well in Egypt as the Jedi. Their story and fall to the evil Sith, or in Egypt known as Set, the Lord of Chaos and Darkness. Though the film would see the Sith Lord defeated, that is where we are in the cycle of the saga. A New Hope, everything that has been was told in the prequels. Lucas started it exactly where we are today, as he has claimed many times. This is a story of the past and that this is just a retelling of that story. He aimed it at those of young age to challenge the lies told not only by religion but the monopoly of the media, and the corruption of our political systems, that allow this to go unchallenged, and defended by the corrupt law enforcement of not just the US but across the world. It foretells the recent bank crisis, the ongoing trade dispute, as well as the movie's main causes of the Jedi fall. The Clone Wars, the ones that rage in our own world and reality, in the Middle East. Just as the films, the Abrahamic religions are led by the same Sith dual role, as they are set to war against each other for the same man-made God. The same God that the Church enslaved a Djedi race and sent them to steal and take, the New World of the Americas. The genocide of a non-savage people whose land was stolen, and they would fall victim to the same regime of control. That control is an unnatural doctrine designed to make the adherents fear the world they do not understand, and think it is the work of demons. 2.5 billion people are trapped in what they think is a world of a loving God, but promotes evil, as an entity, not the choice it has always been. Since education and knowledge has increased, the number of people would fall, and be woken, to a life where they see the hate, anger and wars religion brings. This is the challenge of the Alliance, who are united behind a new breed of Jedi, as the part in A New Hope, where the heroes are told the truth. That the myth of the Jedi is actually real, as the old night brings about the next generation of guardians to reality. These are the stories, intent and plans of this Jedi Alliance to bring balance back to the world.
mean, the real question is to ask the question. Because if you haven't enough interest in the mysteries of life to ask the questions, is there a God or is there not a God? That's for me the worst thing that can happen. You know, if you ask a young person, is there a God, and they say, I don't know. You know, I think you should have an opinion about that.
Do you have an opinion, or are you looking?
Well, I think there is a God. No question. What that God is, or what we know about that God, I'm not sure. The one thing I know about life and about the nature of the human race is that the human race has always believed it's known everything. Even the cavemen thought they had it all figured out, and they knew everything there was to know about everything, because that's where mythology came from. You know, it's constructing some kind of context for the unknown. So we figured it all out. It was fine. I would say that, you know,
Sudan will tell you that if people have access to clean, safe drinking water, it would almost cut in half the health concerns that are in this area. And generally, what happens is that when a borehole is provided to a community, the overall health of that community goes up simply because they have access to clean water.
Clean water is important to Samaritan's Purse because the need is so overwhelming in so many parts of the world. It's overwhelming right here. There's more than 900,000 people that live in just this one state. 70% of them don't have any improved access to water.
And today I'm standing in northern Bahr Ghazal of the Republic of South Sudan. And behind me is one of our drilling machines.